Hi, so Julie from Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast here, and this evening I'm with the team from Age UK celebrating their 70th anniversary appeal, and I've got with me Lynn West, who is a telephone buddy and an appeal champion. So we're going to find out a bit more about what that means. So, hi Lynn.
Hello.
So, tell us, what is a telephone buddy?
Well, a telephone buddy is a service offered by Age UK, wherein we speak to people once a week on the telephone, just listening to them, sharing their lives with them, talking about current affairs. We talk about absolutely everything.
Anything and everything
that person wants to talk about. There are so many lonely people in the community that don't speak to anybody. I mean, sometimes people don't speak to anyone from one week to the next from when we phoned them before, So it is good that we can chat to them and they have a laugh and we talk about all sorts of things. So it is good and I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it.
So how long are you on the phone approximately to like each person?
Well, now that can vary. That varies tremendously. I can be half an hour. I can be 10 minutes.
Right.
I could even be a couple of minutes where someone's off to have their hair done. So the hair has just arrived, and I can't talk to you today.
Yeah.
But most people, it's about an average of 15 minutes, I would have said.
And in a typical day, then, how many people would you say, on average, you do actually support?
In a morning, I would do about 15 phone calls.
Oh, wow.
Morning. Yes.
Just in a morning?
Yes. But of course, there are usually on a Monday morning, there's three of us on doing, so we all do about the same.
So
and
is that what you do, Monday mornings?
I do Monday mornings. I sometimes do afternoons. We have a couple of people on the afternoons as well. Yeah. And we do Tuesday mornings.
Oh, okay. So you do a couple of days a week?
Yeah. But I just do the one. Do the one.
Okay.
Yes,
and how long have you been doing this?
For 3 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it is lovely. It's good because it does me good as well because I'm on my own as well.
Yeah, I heard you say that when you were talking about the presentation. Yeah. So obviously it's really, helping you.
It helps me. Yeah. And I enjoy talking to other people and I enjoy reminiscing with them. Also, talking about the olden days, if you like.
Yeah. And you're a new gal to Shrewsbury then, aren't you?
I am. Yes. I've been. Well, I lived in the country in the Welsh borders. Yeah. I lived there for 10 years. Yeah. And then after my husband died, a few years later, I came here. So I've been here nearly 5 years now.
Okay, and as a result of this, you've made lots of friends as well?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's been really good for me because also I help run, we have got an Age UK choir. And, yes. And because of my musical past, I was asked to be the conductor of the choir. So I do that.
So what's your musical past then?
Well, I played the piano. I only started piano lessons when I was 5, I think.
Oh, right, so you did start
So I've done that, yes, done that. Had some singing lessons. I'm not brilliant, but just because I've always wanted to sing. I used to play piano a lot for people who did sing as an accompanist.
Okay, yeah.
So I always wanted to sing, and I had to go myself.
Yeah.
I'm not brilliant, but I enjoy it.
No, I still enjoy music. You've got the choir and that too.
But of course now we're in with our choir. We sing all sorts of more modern music than I've been used to.
Yeah. That's the thing. You have to move with the times, don't you? I guess.
Yes. So that's been good for me because that keeps your brain working, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah,
I've got to keep up with them.
Yeah.
But some of the songs that come up with are amazing.
I can't even. Well, I've heard you say one or two here this evening.
But we do. We enjoy singing. We don't sing very well. They make a good sound together.
Exactly. As long as
we have a laugh,
slightly in tune, and you're having a good time.
And then we go to the restaurant across the road afterwards for a coffee.
Even better. So, and then obviously this other role that you've got, appeal champion. So what's an appeal champion do?
Well, I'm supporting this platinum appeal for Age UK. I will be perhaps talking at different events and anything just to show the face of Age UK and what we're doing.
Okay.
So that's really what I will be doing from now on.
Okay, are you going to be doing that? How is that in addition to the telephone?
In addition, oh yes,
Right,
yes,
okay.
yes,
So how often do you think you're going to have to get involved in
I
stuff?
don't know that yet. I haven't been told that yet.
waiting.
I think you can do as much or as little as you want to, but I would like to do quite a lot because Age UK has done a lot for me.
Yep.
And I want to support them.
You want to reciprocate. I totally understand that. So.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you don't mind me asking,
No.
Lynn, for our viewers, because obviously this is just audio and not visual.
Yes, yeah.
How old are you yourself?
Well, I shall be 79 in December.
Right, well, early happy birthday
Yes,
from the
thank you very
Shrewsbury
much.
Biscuit podcast
Thank
team.
you.
And
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are lucky to have been, privileged to have been invited to the Age UK's Platinum Appeal launch. And I'm here with the Chief Exec, Heather Osborne. Hi, Heather.
Hi, Julie, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm really pleased that you were able to come.
No, thank you very much for the invite, and the presentation was great. So I've got a few questions. I suppose the big one for me is, how long have you been part of Age UK?
Well, I've been part of Exec Heather for about 12 and a half years now.
Yep.
But I knew the organisation before that because I used to be the Older People's Commissioner for Services in Telford. So
okay.
I knew my predecessor.
Yep.
And when I heard that she was retiring, I thought, that would be the best job in the world.
And has that been as CEO for the whole 12 years?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really good, because you don't hear of that many CEOs that stay around in that. They tend to move on to the next company or the next company.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic.
I think you find with our organisation, people love it so much to this day.
Yeah, especially when it's a charity as well.
Yes.
So how many supporters have you got? Do you know any of those sorts of stats approximately in the county?
Gosh, in terms of supporters, no, I wouldn't know that off the top of my head. We have a couple of supporters groups. So we have a supporters group in North Shropshire who raise funds for us and income, and they've been doing that for about 5 or 6 years now, and they raise about £9,000 a year. And we have a Shrewsbury supporters group as well, who also do lots of different activities and race things. And so they raise funds for us, and then there's lots of other groups that do support us. I mean, when we did our last appeal, which was 10 years ago for our 60th, there were just tens and hundreds of groups and individuals who did all sorts of things for us to raise funds. So, coffee mornings and tea dances. And, I'm wanting, and mine is I've pledged to sort out a disco, so I'll be mine.
Okay. So the fact that you've got lots of support groups, in effect, will generate obviously lots of supporters anyway. I know you mentioned it obviously in the presentation, but again, we're audio, not visual here. So, how old is the charity?
Well, we're 69 now, and we will be 70 in November next year. So we're starting the appeal in the run-up to our 70th birthday.
Right, so this is like a year long or 2 years?
It's actually going to be 2 years. So we'll run it in the year up to our birthday and then the year of our birthday.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's quite a good. And that's literally what you're calling your platinum appeal?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay. Now, how many elderly people do you support?
Last year, it was just over 24,000 across the county.
That's Shropshire and Telford and Wrekin.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's. We aim as a charity to say the good old 80-20 rule. 80% of older people don't need any help or support. They're having a fine time. They're with their grandchildren or their families, doing lots of things. About 20% of people will need some level of support or help. It might not be something very small, but just that little bit that helps people to stay independent. So that's sort of what we aim for. Okay. So 24,000 is just about 6% of the population. Just over 20%. So that's what we sort of aim to do. Yeah.
And what is the sort of age group that you? Because I'm not seeing every time the elderly. What exactly is the elderly these days?
Well, some people say that old is always 10 years older than you are.
Okay, right, fine.
But actually, we don't. There's not many services that we have a specific time frame, deadline that we say you've got to be this age, with the exception of our benefits service, because we are a specialist in pension age benefits, not working age benefits.
Right, yeah.
But for other services, it really depends on when people feel that they need the support. I mean, most of our day centres, the people are in their 80s, and often are quite frail. So, but some of our other services, like our Living Well activities, people might be coming in their 60s or 70s.
Okay, right.
And of course, a lot of people volunteer with us. kids. So they're coming, to volunteer at all ages. And
I mean, obviously, I've just spoke to Lynn, your telephone buddy and appeal champion, and she kindly declared her age. So, which again, it is the age of the volunteers is amazing.
It's fantastic. Yes.
I suppose this probably might be one of those slightly harder questions, but you talked earlier in your presentation about a wait list. Mm-hmm. How do you prioritise?
For most of our services are not crisis services,
so
we don't prioritise in that way. Because something like if say people were waiting for a befriender, we might have some areas of the county where we've got volunteers that we can match up with somebody right away. But we might have other areas where at that time we haven't got a volunteer in that area to match up with. So then we will go out and target recruitment in that area to try to find the right volunteers. So it can vary, but some of our services, certainly in Telford with our befriending service, has quite a long waiting list. So we really want to try to bring that down. And with our benefits team, because we were so inundated last year, we at one point we were up to 12-week waiting lists. We've got that down to 3 now. So
that's amazing. Okay. Well, I know that your team are calling you in there for something important. So thank you very much indeed for your time.
You're very welcome. Nice to have you here.
We're on the show.
Yeah, please
Thank
do.
You.
Thank you.
Hi, Julie from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast team here, and tonight we're at the Music Hall, the museum, where we've been kindly invited and have the privilege to attend the Platinum Appeal of Age UK. And I'm here speaking to Katherine McCloy, who is the Income Generation Manager. Hi, Katherine.
Hi, how are you doing?
All right, thank you very much for the invite.
It's okay, nice you could join us.
Yep. So obviously we heard the presentation earlier, and that's a big target to achieve over 2 years, isn't it? 155, if I remember Heather saying?
150,000.
Yeah, 150. Okay. And that's obviously in your run-up, isn't it, to your sort of like your birthday and then the year after.
Yes.
So plans to achieve that target are?
Oh, do you know, I've already had people coming to me saying I'm going to do lots of different things to fundraise for you. We're very fortunate that we've got some students from Shrewsbury College who are going to walk up and down Snowdon quite a few times, and they're going to raise a few £1,000s for that. Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
I know, isn't that great? I think what's so lovely about my job is that people are passionate about raising funds for local older people.
Yeah.
And that's key to me. It's local older people. So it's your friends, it's your neighbours, it's somebody that you see in the park.
Yeah.
You might not necessarily know that they're lonely.
Yeah.
But we do, we hear this day in, day out of people who are desperately lonely, wanting some help and support.
It's a little bit of pride sometimes over that generation, isn't it? They don't like to speak out and they don't like to say that they're alone.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that, but I also think that it's difficult to define loneliness.
True.
And a lot of people come to Shropshire, retire to Shropshire. And that's what we're seeing with a much higher demographic than the national average in Shropshire.
What is that demographic?
So people over the age of 65.
Yep.
It's rising massively.
Okay.
And
have you seen an increase in that over a period of years?
Yeah,
then?
over the past 10 years we've seen that grow.
Oh, wow.
And certainly...
Go on, kiss again.
Certainly by 2036, a third of the population in Shropshire and Telford will be over the age of 65.
Oh, wow. That's quite a hefty number.
So I think, there's a message here for all of us, really, to just look out for older relatives, older neighbours, older friends.
Yeah, definitely.
And come to us for help and support. That's what we're here for, really.
And how long have you been working for the charity?
It's 2.5 years now.
Oh, okay. And in this role?
Yes. Yeah. Just over 12 months head of income generation.
Yeah.
But I was doing marketing and fundraising prior to that in the income gen team.
Brilliant. So is that your background, sort of like that sort of area?
Fundraising and marketing and PR particularly, yes.
Yeah.
I've
Within
worked,
charities and that?
Yeah, I've worked in charities for nearly 20 years.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you.
I just love it. It's about giving something back.
Yeah.
I know that sounds really corny sometimes, but...
No, not at all, not at all. A lot of people know it's not high-paying, sort of like they're not high-paying organisations ordinarily. And I think, the people that do it for the duration that they do it, is highly commendable.
Yeah. Well, I think that's you've got to be a certain kind of person, I think, to work in this sector. And Heather, our chief exec, is she's awesome. She's a great chief exec and we're passionate about the work we do. So actually, my job isn't too hard really. But encouraging others to fundraise for us, that's the challenge. Yeah.
And obviously when you're raising those funds, people might want to know how they're utilised. So what sort of, how do you guys utilise the funds that you raise particularly?
Well, I can assure you that every penny that comes into our office goes back out into supporting older people locally in our county. So it's things like training our volunteers to better support older people. Yeah. It costs something like £100 to train a volunteer.
Does it?
To support people in our dementia support groups, so people living with dementia.
Yeah. How many volunteers have you got?
We've got about 850 volunteers.
Right, so doesn't take long to work mass out on that, does it? Wow.
Right across all our services, that is. So that's ranging from combating isolation and loneliness, so that's befriending services. And our help at home support and our Telephone Buddy service as well. Yeah, we had a chat with Lynn, so I've got a flavour of what they do. Yeah, and our information and advice volunteers. So those are people that are going out into older people's homes, helping them fill out attendance allowance forms. Or blue badge applications. Yeah, yes. And helping them in that way particularly. And then with our dementia support groups, obviously volunteers supporting our
and they also need that extra specialist training as well, I would imagine. So we do some amazing work, and day in, day out we're hearing of real heartwarming stories where we've made a difference to older people. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, we hopefully are all going to get old one day, and I would hope that somebody's going to be there for me. Yeah. And I just think it doesn't take much, actually. I think but just with a little bit of time and effort, rally your friends, rally your family. Even if it's just a pub quiz or something in the local pub. Doesn't matter, does it? You all don't have to run out of run a 10k or run a marathon or down Snowdon so many times. That is brilliant. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Hi, Julie from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast team here tonight, where we've had the privilege to be invited to the 70th launch appeal for Age UK. It's their platinum appeal, which they're going to be doing over the next 2 years. And I'm here with Angela Goodman, and Angela's role is fundraiser. I'm going to say not fundraiser, but it's fund generator, income generator assistant. But that's going to be income generator extraordinaire, really, isn't it?
I don't know about that, maybe.
But Angela basically has organised the event this evening, so we're going to find out a lot more about that now. So, Angela, how long have you been working on this?
So, I've been working on it for a few weeks, throwing it together, getting the presentations done, catering, everything, invites, all the packs and stuff, just, getting it done. We were working to final deadlines.
I can imagine, and it's like, how many hours a day have you been doing on this?
Oh my God, every day. I've been working on this 3 weeks straight, Monday to Friday.
So this has been your job for 3 weeks rather than your actual job?
Yes. It's been full on and getting everything together and just managing everyone to make sure they all get their little bits in. Yeah. So
and how many people have you had here this evening?
52, I think, is our final count.
Okay. And how did you make the decision on who to invite to the launch?
We invited a range of people, so our staff, our trustees, people that have supported us in our fundraising campaigns in the past, our corporate supporters, just a mix of everyone, press and just anyone who can help us get the message out, really. Yeah.
And so how long have you worked for Age UK?
So it'll be 2 years this January.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So 2 years coming up this January?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
January, yeah.
And have you sort of been involved in charities before in the past yourself?
Yeah, I've spent my whole career in charity.
So, right, so I've just spoke to Katherine, and she obviously had said how long she'd been here, but then for 20 years prior to that she's been in charities, and I was just saying to her how commendable that is, because It's not a high-paying job, is it?
No,
Let's
it
face it. I've done some charity, been involved in some charities as well before, and I just know that it isn't. So it shows the commitment that you guys have to this, and particularly, obviously, to the elderly population within this county. The Shropshire and Telford and Wrekin.
Yeah.
So
I volunteer don't volunteer, but part of my role is to cover reception, and I answer phone calls like every day of people like needing help. And
so similar to the role that Lynn does, the phone back.
So she does Telephone Buddy, but this is just our main reception, so anyone can call in
anyone
and
ringing
ask for any of our services. So I hear stories like every day of people like needing help with benefits or needing help with help at home, like just could be anything, and they could ring us up and say, can you help us, please? Yeah.
And I suppose, like, in terms of, like, obviously that you do know you're taking those phone calls, do you guys actually get calls from people out of county?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just Shropshire and Telford.
So it is quite clear that this is, because obviously Age UK is a big organisation, isn't it? Sort of like nationally. Mm-hmm. So, but in terms of obviously what you guys do, it's for the county, and but I've had Heather sort of laid down some of the stats for me, and they're like pretty impressive. And in terms of obviously Lynn, that was really interesting to hear actually what she does. And she kindly declared her age for us as well,
that's nice.
But I think that's brilliant, because it goes to show that anyone of any age can get involved. I mean, from your knowledge and your experience, how old's your youngest volunteer?
Youngest volunteer? I have no idea. Like maybe 60-ish?
Yeah.
Maybe 50?
So like
I'm not sure.
from the college and that, Shrewsbury College help out as well?
I mean, we've had like people fundraise for us, like different events, but they wouldn't be classed as proper.
They're volunteers, but they're supporters, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're supporters
more
of the cause. Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Majority of our volunteers are older.
I can imagine. But then that's probably where they have a lot more in common, isn't it, with that age group? Because ultimately we're all going to get there anyway at some point.
Oh, God.
So, touch wood, we all get to that point. But I think obviously there's been you've had a really good group here this evening. The food was lovely. Thank you very much. As was the Bucks Fizz.
Yeah, definitely.
And really good, really professional, slick presentation, everything.
Oh,
so well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you. Like, I follow Shrewsbury Biscuit, so I was like, we have to invite them.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Excellent, brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Angela.